I will say I'm a little disappointed because when Kim Jong-un had the meeting with President Xi in China, the second meeting, the first meeting we knew about, the second meeting, I think there was a little change in attitude from Kim Jong-un. So I don't like that.
Okay, so what other levers being pulled behind the scenes? What's going on with this 3D chess game that is the U.S., North Korea, and China talks? It is the biggest power play happening right now. Okay, earlier this week, amid U.S.-China trade tensions, President Trump seemed to blame China for trying to sabotage the president's summit with Kim Jong-un. This, as the Trump administration today said it will seek a deal to save Chinese telecom giant ZTE. Remember, Republicans in the Senate don't like this at all. They see that as a military and national security risk. Let's bring economist and author of The Capitalist Code, Ben Stein, in on this. Great to see you, Ben. So where do you come down on all of this?
Great to see you. I don't think the Chinese want to stop the trade with the U.S. at all. The Chinese are trading people. They're an incredibly efficient exporter, and they're not going to stop. And I think they're going to, behind the scenes, welcome any reprieve we give to ZTE, and that'll make them happy. I don't think they want to damage our relations, such as they are, which are, to be very sure, very slight with North Korea. I think the summit's going to happen. I don't know when, but it'll happen at some point. Why North Korea has chosen this time and place to soften its attitude, I'm not quite sure, and I don't trust them as far as I could throw them.
Yeah.
But I think that Mr. Trump has done a brilliant negotiating job, and for the Democrats to be gloating over any possibility that this deal won't work is shameful.
So do you agree or disagree with the idea that China may have put the kibosh on the North Korea talks with the U.S. to improve its position in the U.S. trade talks?
I don't think so at all. Their trade position is so strong already. They don't need to do anything to improve their trade position. They're such a powerful nation. They know it. We know it. Everyone in the world knows it. They don't need to do anything like that. Whatever manipulation they're doing, I don't think they're doing over trade. They're such an enormous exporter. Whatever tiny little bits will be affected by the deal with North Korea are trivial to them.
All right, so let's get to the U.S. economy and the midterm. So here's the lay of the land. GDP growth has been improving for 7 straight quarters. Atlanta Fed has been talking about a 4% growth rate. Wages are up 3% year over year. But we're seeing, Ben, mortgage rates rising at a pace not seen in nearly 50 years. That 30-year rate is climbing toward 5%. What is your take on the housing market? If home values have gone up, the median average now is around 270, 260, 260K, according to the National Realtors Association. Will the housing market be a problem for the Republicans' chances in the midterms?
I don't think so at all. The housing prices are still a good deal for most people in most parts of the country. There are bubbles. There's a bubble in Manhattan. There's a bubble in Seattle. There's a bubble in San Francisco. There's a bubble certainly in my neighborhood, Beverly Hills. But by and large, buying a house is an incredibly good deal in many, many different ways. And the reason that interest rates are going up so fast is that they were kept so very low artificially for such a long time. It makes total sense for them to go up, and to go up by quite a bit. And I don't think 5% is going to be the ceiling that they go up to. They should be much higher than that. There's just they've been suppressed by Federal Reserve policy. The Federal Reserve gloves and clamps are coming off. They'll rise to a certain level, and then if they're too high, then they'll go down again. But there's nothing to me that says that we're anywhere near the end of the housing boom. And even if the housing boom were to taper off, it could taper off quite a bit, and we still wouldn't have a housing bust. There's not going to be anything like Lehman Brothers, where Lehman simply stopped lending and then everyone else stopped lending.
Okay. Ben Stein, great to see you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Always great to see you. Thank you very much.
We hope you have a good Memorial Day weekend.